So it was around November of, I want to say maybe 2024, because I know it didn't happen last year. But me and my cousin, we was out, and I remember specifically it being around Thanksgiving because of the simple fact that we was out that Thursday. And then we was like, you know what? Let's just go out this Friday because it just makes sense. And she didn't go back until Sunday anyways. And she doesn't usually come down that long anyways, unless it's like a holiday. She usually only comes down for the weekends, for real. But that's besides the point. Let's keep moving. So like I stated, we was out, we was chilling, we was vibing, but like I stated, we went out, and when we was about to like walk into the place, she goes, there goes that man. I'm not gonna say his name, but if y'all know who I'm talking about, y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. And in response, I was like, I don't give a fuck about that man. And honestly, I didn't care if he heard me or not, because he was in some bitch's face anyways. But we're gonna get to her because she's very important in the story. But we on side, right? Because they outside just kiki and cackling, and I don't really give a fuck because that's not my business, and I haven't spoken to that man in over a month at that point anyways. So it's like, why start now? So we go inside, we sit down, we get the waiter that we got the last time we was at that place. And honestly, we wasn't thinking too much anyways. And please keep this waiter in mind too, because he's going to come up in the end. But when he see us, he quickly take us, and we thought that it was good vibes. And mind you, we already had like issues going on. This ain't got nothing to do with the dude that I was talking about. But if you felt like it was about you, then just wear the shoe. But if it don't fit, take it off. But it seemed like it did, so... But yeah, so we saw the waiter. He came up to us. We was joking with him. We was like, men ain't shit. And he started laughing, but I told him, not you, because respectfully speaking, I don't know that man too well to be like, you ain't shit. But honestly, he turned out to be not shit. So while we're in there, I see my cousin just looking past me, because at this point I'm sitting with my back to the bar, so I can't really see nobody behind me besides the people that was seated against the wall, right? So I see her waving, like I said, and I'm like, what's going on? Because honestly, I don't want to turn around, because I know at that point he probably came into the building and I don't feel like making eye contact with him. So she like, that man is just sitting here looking at me. So I'm like, oh, that's weird as hell. Why is he sitting here looking over here if he don't really like fuck with me and I don't fuck with him right now? Like, we don't speak. So why is he even staring at you? Keep in mind, the last time my cousin was down for Halloween prior to that, he bought us a shot. So I guess he recognized my cousin and was like, damn. But anyways, as time was going on, I had my phone propped up. I was looking at myself, and I could obviously see who's walking past me. And don't get me wrong, he's the type of person to walk around the place. But the fact that you really sat there and kept like coming back and forth to make it known that you're like present, and I just found it weird as fuck, because like I said, I felt like he low-key was trying to make his presence known, that he was there. But honestly, I wasn't really budging for real to even talk to him like that. And keep in mind, at the end of all of this man knew for a fact that I'm the type of person to sit here and bar hop anytime he sees me out and about on the street. So they eventually end up leaving the bar, and then we stayed in there for not too long because honestly the vibe wasn't vibing. So then we end up going to the bar like a couple doors down, and honestly that was dead as fuck too. So then we decide, you know, let's cross the street and go to that one over there. So then that's exactly what we did. We end up seeing them in that bar, but we not about to sit here and do too much because respectfully speaking, like I said, we bar hop, and nobody's going to sit here and make me feel like I can't go into a bar because y'all are in there. So we vibing, they start acting weird, but we're not paying them any mind. So then we decide, you know what, let's leave this bar and then go to another one, because honestly, don't get me wrong, I like me a little bachata music, but I feel like they was doing like a little bit too much. But I feel like that's the vibe of that place. If y'all know that place, then that's the vibe. I'm not gonna say the name because I feel like once y'all gotta go searching up, y'all gonna do too much. But we go back to the one that was across the street after the first bar, and honestly it was still dead. So we was like, let's just go back, because right now that place and the one a couple doors down is the only two places that are kind of like lit right now. So we go back in there, and before we could even really like go in there, the only thing that we were able to do for real is like cross the street before some new character, well, not even a new character, the girl that I told y'all about that he was kikiing with. Wait, hold on, time out. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back. Before we was gonna go out there, we saw that dude sitting there by himself, but I was just gonna walk past him. A whole new character unlocked with fucked up braids basically gonna come past and sit her ass on him, talking about, oh, bitches don't want to stare now. But you're not talking about me because, bitch, I don't know you. But yeah, when we come back, we see the character that was talking to him prior come out and be like, oh, can I talk to you? So I'm like, what? So she's basically going on and on and on and rambling and talking about, oh, we saw that you kept looking. Mind you, when we were first in the first club, we wasn't really looking at them. We was looking through them because of the simple fact of people kept opening the door, and it was cold around this time. And we was like, why do they keep opening the door? Like, y'all need to figure this shit the fuck out. It's not my fault that y'all was sitting at the front door. As she's going on and on and on, by the way that she's moving, by her body language, I genuinely feel like she was trying to fight. But respectfully speaking, I'm not doing that. The first thing I will do is press charges if you push your hands on me. That's why I wasn't gonna move from in front of the cop. Her friend was trying to move, but honestly, no. If she says she don't care about the cops, let's just stay here because she don't mind going to jail for real. But yeah, remember how I told y'all that the waiter to keep him in mind and shit like that? Yeah, the dude that she was sitting here trying to argue over, and the waiter ended up coming out, and she repeated the same shit that I said to him, basically saying that niggas ain't shit. But girl, we wasn't talking about you, but being that you feel like we was talking about him, that's how you know that your man ain't shit. And mind you, baby, let's not sit here and do too much over a man that really wasn't claiming you for, like, now that I know more about this man, I understand what you was trying to like do, because honestly he was telling you the same thing he was telling everybody else. But baby, you don't know me. I watch too much crime shows to know that shit don't usually end well. But yeah, that's really all that happened. We ended up going home because the vibe was ruined.